Morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on improving your documentation. My name is Jamal. I'm a pre-sales consultant with Meditech, and I'll be taking you through some insight into how to adjust your documents and ways to make them look more professional. So today we're going to be looking at how to edit standard documentation, creating Word templates, creating document templates. We'll be looking at some different print formats and editing standard reports. If you have any questions, please fill in the Q&A box here on the webinar, and I'll review and answer all questions at the end. So, our example today, we're going to be looking at the document. Let's begin by looking at different print formats and their uses. Every document has many print formats which allow you to display similar data in a different format. There may be an order confirmation for the customer needs to show slightly different data than the format which is used internally. In our examples today, we're going to be looking at the document order confirmation. To get to this, we can open up the sales order form, find the relevant sales order. Mine ends in 006, so I'm just going to search for that in priority. Bring it back, this one here for Kent Dairy Service. And then we can click the action order confirmation at the top. When we click this, we see a pop-out box with options to display, to print, to email as well. And at the top, we also have a button to customize. If we drop down this arrow here, we can see all of the available templates. We've got Word templates at the top, which we'll talk more about later, so different selection of them there. And then we've got the out-of-the-box priority documentation versions. So most documentation has a standard format option, as you can see here. This provides a basic overview of the document data. This print format shows all the information that you'd expect to see. So if we just open that up, just give it a second to open. We've got address info about the company in the top left-hand corner, the address of who it's for and where it's getting shipped to. Then in the top right corner, we've got the order date in the print format. Below that, we have a sales order number, which is hyperlinked to take you back to the sales order in priority. And then you come down to the table, which has a couple of lines here, and it includes part number, again hyperlinked, a barcode, which can be as a physical barcode or just text, due date, the part description, quantity, order balance, unit price, and a unit price with VAT, and then the extended price as well. Now, you've got a barcode below that for the whole order, your customer number in the bottom left, and the part totals table. And then on the right, you've got your overall price totals. So that will be these two added together, plus the VAT. And then at the bottom in the right-hand corner, you've got a sign-off from who has pressed the order confirmation in this instance. So let's have a look now at a comparison. Quite a simple comparison at first with extended part description. So if I display that again, give it a second to load up. This one's exactly the same as the standard format. The only difference is under the part description, if you have any order item remarks, these will come up on the page as well. Now, if we move on to one with quite a marked difference, quite an obvious difference, and make sure you are having a look at these, as it will be important later that you have a little bit of memory of how these look. I'll just go over those two again, just so you can see them one more time. We go to order confirmation again, and this time we're going to use the detailed with image. As the title suggests, we might have some images in there this time. What the main difference is that rather than have a table that pushes each individual line across the top, is put it into a smaller table on the right-hand side, which goes vertically rather than horizontally. So we've got part number, due date, quantity, order balance, all across the right-hand side now. Each line is its own block. And because they're the same product, we've also got the same photo for the two of them. It all depends on your business, your needs, and what you want to present. Any of these formats, or the ones we haven't looked at, may suit you, but there are, of course, cases where it doesn't quite look as you would like. So let's have a look at those formats and how to make changes to them. What we're going to do is we're going to remove the prices from the standard format on the line, so not the overall prices. There'll still be a total price at the end. We just want to remove the prices from the standard format. There's a few ways to do this, and we're going to show you two of them today. So you have the choice of doing it when you run the document to print or when we're on the menu. But as we're already in the sales order form, if we click the order confirmation again, and we jump back to the standard format, if we press the customize button, we get a pop out on the left-hand side with all the different print formats. So this is a design report pop out, and we're looking at standard format, so we're going to select that one. Now, what we recommend is that if you're making changes to standard reports, that you take a copy and make a change to that, or take a copy and then use that as a backup. So what we're going to do is we're just going to duplicate this one here, and we're going to call it standard no prices. I'm going to click away, and that should be saved. And it's here at the bottom. So if we open that out now, so to hide individual fields or unhide them, you need to find the report section that they're within. So in this instance, we're interested in the body table of the report of the document. So we're going to open the order items standard format. Now, in a table in a document, these can be moved either up or down by using the three buttons on the right. Sorry, ignore me, that's the wrong one. By using the move down arrows, move up arrows here. So, but only in a table can you do this. You can't do this for other areas of the report. But what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll down for now, and we're going to find ones that have price in it. So we'll start with the unit price, click on the three dots, and we can hide. Again, unit PR, hide. We can leave the currency. Let's get rid of the unit price with that, and the discount, and the unit price after discount, and finally the extended price. Now, if we look down here, we can see that these are all hidden. Unhide them, we just click the three dots again and press display. Now, what we want to do is we want to save that. And we're just going to come out of the order confirmation just to make sure that everything is loaded up in the background. We'll now press order confirmation, and we're going to find our new standard no prices format. We're going to hit display. I'm just going to get rid of some of these. And you can see now that in the table in the middle, anything referencing prices is now gone, and we just have the total price at the bottom, but it's still got the same data in as the other formats. And as I said before, you can move the order of the fields, but only in the table. Other than that, you can only hide or unhide. Now, the second way to do it is to find order confirmation from the menu. So we're going to go to sales, orders, sales order reports, order confirmation, and then from this menu here we're going to choose design and design report. This pops up the same report menu as before, So we can make some other changes as well as just hide or unhide. Now, still using the standard no prices that we were using before, because we don't want to make changes to the standard report. So we're going to make it to our duplicate report. And what's important to note is that any changes that are made to standard priority won't be made to your duplicate one, which means your duplicate that you've made changes to will always stay the same no matter what happens with the rest of the system. So you can be confident that you're not going to come in and find changes to the reports that you've created, reports and documents. So what we want to do now is go to document number, and we're going to find the document number field, which is this one, and we're going to select field attributes. We're going to change the size of the text from 4 to 8. You can also change the font. You can have it dashed through. You can have it underlined or not underlined. I'm going to keep it underlined. You can select italics. You can bold it, which we are going to do. Let's do that. And in a minute, we'll look at colors. And then you also have the choice of where it sits within the box. I'm going to keep it where it was. I'm going to press OK. And then I want to go down to the order item standard format, and I want the due date to stand out. So I'm going to select the due date. So it's just down here. I'm going to click the 3 dots, select field attributes again, and I'm going to change the color to red. I can also highlight either the title box or the lower box with the data with different colors. For example, I could make it blue in the title. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I'm going to press OK. I'm going to save that. And I'm just going to come out of here again. I'm going to use the recent items that we discussed in the last webinar. Come back to the order confirmation. I'm going to press OK. I've got my 006 here. I'm happy with that. And I'm still on standard no prices. So we're going to run that. And we can see now that the sales order number is massive and bold. It's nice and easy to see. It stands out, as does the due date. We can see that this is our new one. I've got clearly a few that end in 006. So we've got a more accurate due date there and a more accurate sales order number as well. So if you find the field that you need to add to your report isn't available by either hiding or unhiding, you can speak with your project manager or the support desk to quote to add fields to reports. Now, it's all very well being able to make these adjustments to the standard print formats. However, I can see that this is limited, especially in the sense of making these documents match the design and personality of your business. This is where Word templates come in. We're going to have a look at one of our customers' Word templates to show you the sheer power of the Word template tool. So I've got this template opened up here, a company called Cherwell, and this is their version of the order confirmation. As you can see, they utilize headers and footers to have logos and their key information built in at the bottom. And then they use tables to pull only the data that's important to them and make it stand out with the red and grey colour scheme. They've also added a table for their totals, as you saw before in the standard documents. And then they've got address info as well, like the out of the box stuff. Now, the upside of this is it means that they can keep this sort of scheme for their order confirmations, their shipping report, their shipping documentation, their purchase order documentation. Basically, all of their data documentation within Priority can be matched up with their color scheme, their logo, and it looks a bit more professional then when it goes out. And it matches up with their business. Now, I can see that they're currently missing a city county postcode field just at the top here. So what I first need to do in order to add the XML tags, so these work on XML tags, add the XML tags to my document is I can see that I don't have the developer tool at the moment. So I'm going to go File Options, and I'm going to go to Customize Ribbon in the options. And then I'm just going to make sure this developer flag is ticked. Tick that, hit OK, and it should pop up here. If I go right, I want to select my XML mapping pane. Now you might notice it comes up with this schemas. This is wrong, but it's okay. If it does come up like this, it shouldn't be too hard to change. Now, Cherwell have changed the name of theirs from order confirmation to handover document. So in your priority, this would probably come up as order confirmation. I'm going to go to the customer information, and I'm going to find an appropriate city, county, postal code one, and I'm just going to insert that as plain text in, and that's how easy it is to add your own XML tags. Now it's important that we save this. Now it's important to note that you need to save this as a Word template, or it's sometimes known as a .x, as in DOTX. So I'm just going to go into browse just to show you what I mean. So we're going to save it as Cherwell. Now, normally your priority will come up with this Word document, or what's called a docx, DOCX, but you need it to be a Word template or a DOTX. This allows the data to pass through the XML fields. So I'm just going to save that, and we're just going to jump back into priority. So we're in priority now. What I'm going to do is, oh, not that one. I'm going to go to the order confirmation again from the recent items. He says, hopefully. Design Word template. And I'm going to upload what I just did. And the file cherwell.x was uploaded. I'm going to go through, carry on. Now I'm actually going to use one that I set up earlier called Finish Version, but this is the exact same thing that's in the Cherwell document. So I'm just going to apply that. And hopefully now we'll get a nice version of there. So we want to go down to the third one. And you can see here, we've now got these extra fields added in. That's the one we added. We've got the lines, and this is their finished order confirmation or a version of it. Let's change it a little bit. So that is how you do your Word templates. So next we move on to Word document templates. And for this example, we're going to change tack from sales orders to customers. So I'm going to open up customers, and we've got Kent Dairy Service who we've been using this whole time just there. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the menu, we're going to go to design, and we're going to go to the Word document generator. We are going to edit this. So this is a way of editing a template that you've already put up. And this version is more for letters and things like that that you might send out to a customer. As you can see, again, we've utilized Word. This state updates on its own, so using Word's own technology. And then we've got XML tags for the name, the customer name, the address, similar sorts of things that you see on the report. Now, the difference is that this takes information, live information from the form, rather than static information from a report. So whoever, thank you for selecting this. And what we can do is we can add our own logos, we can add our own pictures, and we can add things like sales reps and add a phone number in there as well. We save it in much the same way, so making sure it's in a text format and then re-uploading it. So if we just run that from here. So to run that one, I'm just going to just add that in there. So to run that, I'm going to go to run. No, sorry, I'm going to go to file and then send to Microsoft Word. So you can see if you had a selection, there'd be a few there. Going to hit OK. And that's downloaded now. And you can see that it's replaced those with the information that's in your form. And you can see here as well that before they didn't have a sales rep, but I've just changed it to Heather. And you can see that her name has now populated into that XML tag as well. So there's no real limit on what you can do with these Word documents. Now, if we jump back into Priority again, we're going to have a look at standard reports and how they can be viewed and changed. Let's jump back into sales orders now. If we look at the sales order report, which we can find by going to sales, sales orders, sales order reports, detailed reports, sales order reports, and sales orders. When we run it, we can see an option on the left to send to spreadsheet. There's also print file and standard. Standard we'll talk about a little bit more later on. I press OK. I'm going to leave this data in because I've already got it set up. And I'm going to press OK. But it's now opened an Excel file. And what's important about this send to spreadsheet is it sends out raw data into Excel with no formatting at all. I can make this bigger so you can see the due dates. This is useful. A lot of companies like this because it means they can manipulate the data that's there and create charts and further reports out of it. So that's one way of doing it. If we jump back in now and rerun the report, but now we send it as standard, and we push that and open it. So open that up, and you can see now all the different formatting, which includes hyperlinks, so you can click back through to go to anywhere you like within the system. But there's a few options at the top now that you have. You can print the report in this format. You can email it. You can send it to Outlook to then send out, so particularly useful if you want to send it to someone else in your department, and it will keep the formatting within the email. You can send it to Microsoft Word, or you can send it to Excel or your spreadsheet but I just want to show you the difference between this non-formatted version in Excel and the formatted version in Excel, which keeps your hyperlinks as well. So you can just click back through from here, and it's going to take you back to that sales order, all the way from Excel or Outlook or Word, which is really handy. So if I just open that Excel sheet again, just to finish looking at it. And this one might be more useful for meetings where you've got everyone around. You want to be able to see it in a bit of a nicer format. Now, you may find you want to make some changes to these reports. So to do that, we're going to just go back to the home screen, rerun the sales order report, and here we can go to design report. Now, all of your top level fields are going to be here, and you can hide or unhide those. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hide a few that are towards the end. So we're going to hide the type of sale code. We're going to hide the total price. And we're going to hide the factory unit as well. I'm just going to save that. And I'm going to run it again as I did before. And you can see now on the right-hand side that some of those fields that were there before have now gone. And again, it works the same way if you want to unhide those. You can also add custom fields to reports. Either you can take up some report writing training with one of our project managers, or Meditech can add a field to a report for you. However, there is another option, which is using the report generators to create custom reports through a simple drag and drop scenario. And if you require any support with that, please do get in touch. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the webinar. I have been keeping a look down and I can see there's a few questions. So if you just give me a moment, I'm just going to read through those. Have a look. So will the recording be available to watch after it's over? Yes, it will be on our YouTube channel, and a link to it will be on our Meditech UK website. Again, there's another question here about the recording for the session, so same as before. So there's a question here about can any member of staff do these changes? Can they make their own Word templates? The answer is no. If I just jump through the system management with you, system maintenance and users, I'm gonna open up users. I'm just gonna grab someone back. Let's use this Alison person here. So to be able to do pretty much anything that we've shown today, so to hide and unhide fields, to change reports, and to create your own Word templates, you do need to have this document design tick box flagged in the user permissions. And naturally, only the system managers will have access to be able to grant this permission. So it's something that you'd need to discuss with those. I've got one more question here. So how do you display or hide field values depending on field content, i.e. zeros for line items with no prices, but display price if they're not zero? I think I've got your email here. I'm not 100% sure. So the person that's asked the questions here, I'd like to get my head around exactly what it is you're after. So I will contact you regarding that. Thank you to everyone for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.